Hey, today I'm talking about Disney Pixar's Cars trilogy. First up is Cars. This is a 2006 film and the only one of these that I'd seen before. And man, is it strange. The basic premise is in a universe in which every vehicle is alive, this hotshot race car ends up in the middle of nowhere under police custody and has to do a bunch of character arc stuff to be able to leave. So I remember even at the time, as a 16-year-old, thinking just how strange this universe is. Like, I don't understand the logic of it. Like, how does anything even happen? Because we don't really see the cars do a ton of stuff with their hands, their wheels. There are like forklift ones, which they are just everywhere because they realized, oh shit, we need characters with hands to do things. How does anything get built? How does anything get made? Like, they just have big wheels. They can like punch stuff. I don't know. If it was like a VeggieTales situation, I could understand that. Or like them even playing into it or making a joke about it. But like even the bugs are cars. And like I get it, it's a joke, but also what? Okay, just going past that. Like what's the logic of like the shell of the vehicle? Is that their skin? Is that their clothes? Do they feel pain? How do they feel pain? Because like we see them throughout the trilogy get into some like crazy wrecks. But is that just like getting your shirt torn? Or is that like getting a bone broken and this is major surgery? Like we see cars run out of gas and like shouldn't that put them to sleep or kill them? What's happening? I don't know, man. There's just so many weird things with the logic of this universe that I just have never been able to wrap my head around. It was definitely still something that was very distracting, this viewing of it. Also, I just hate their mouths. Their mouths are so weird. No. Oh god, okay, one more thing. Like, aren't they just then born into their career? Like, Mater is a tow truck. So he was just always meant to be a tow truck, right? Or like, did you get a choice of what your chassis was gonna be at some point in life? Or can you change what that is? And like, if they are just born into their career, like that kind of takes out a lot of agency of stuff and turns the story into a very particular sci-fi story, because it's like the beginning of Futurama, where they do a test of you to see what your best job would be, and then they put a chip in you, and then you have to be that career for the rest of your life. That's basically what this is. Of like, Lightning McQueen is just a race car, so he has to be a race car. He can't do anything else. Now we do see Doc Hudson change careers, but he was an old kind of car, so that makes sense that they're more versatile. But in today's hyper-specific cars that are being made, like a tow truck really can't do anything besides be a tow truck. I guess in the third one we do see like the demo derby stuff, and it has like a school bus in it and whatnot, but that's a demo derby. Like that's meant to be a hodgepodge of cars. The series is so weird. This is definitely a nostalgia film, specifically for like the American road trip. Like it's so a boomer story of like, remember the good old days when we all pile in the car, and it's more about the journey than it is about the destination. And they built a bypass, which only saves 10 minutes, which is not true. A bypass would save literally hours instead of 10 minutes. And like, it's about the death of small towns, and like, I'm fine with the death of small towns. I'm from small towns. And yeah, do they serve a purpose? They did, and they still can, but we need to change. We need to modernize. Like, to just be stuck in the past, in this, we need to have a town of 200 people every 10 miles. That doesn't need to be a thing anymore. We can centralize. We can then pool our resources to then make, instead of having 100 shitty little towns, we can have 25 nice, decent-sized towns where there's actually more amenities and you don't have to go half an hour just to go get groceries. You can go 5 minutes. You could just walk to the store. I just like a lot about this movie. Where I should say some nice stuff. What's nice things I like about it? I guess it kept me entertained. I didn't hate it. Yeah, that's about it. I don't really understand the hype around it. Did not care for Lightning McQueen. It's just too much of an asshole. I get that it's a story arc, but like, just come on. It's just too much. Would I recommend this movie? No. No, like I liked it. I put it in the liked category, so technically it's middle of the road to me. But cars aren't meant to be in the middle of the road. So yeah, no, I don't recommend this strange movie. Next up is Cars 2. This is a 2011 film, the first rotten Pixar film. I'd never seen it before. I've only heard weird, crazy things about it. I knew going into it, it was like a spy thriller thing and that it was super confusing and they're like, what is this movie all about? And boy, oh boy, is this movie somehow more strange than the first one. But I liked it considerably more than the first one. So, okay, I understand the conception of this movie. That like, okay, what are iconic car movies? You got the road trip movie, you got the racing movie, then you got spy thriller, you got James Bond. James Bond is full of really cool cars. So it makes sense that that's the progression. Also, you got F1 Formula Racing. That makes sense as like another idea for a car story. Do they mesh well together? Sort of, kind of, I don't know. Looking at this movie as a sequel to the last one is like a world of different. They're two very different cartoon ideas. There's so many more questions about like how stuff works, like all of the gadgets and stuff. What are they to these cars? What is this? I don't get it. That's weird. Or like Michael Caine car doing all the spy stuff is so weird and so ridiculous and so crazy. Also, the main character is Mater. What? I get it. I understand why. Because he was incredibly popular. He was so popular. He was the hit of the first one. I vividly remember that from that time. So it makes sense that he would be the lead of this one. It is strange that they just kind of really abandoned Lightning McQueen to like a B/C plot, really. But I get it. Also, I will say though, I love the concept of Mater as he is this bumbling buffoon idiot person who's just always a fish out of water no matter where he goes, but he still is competent and capable. Like he's knowledgeable, like he legitimately knows things, and yet he kind of dumb lucks his way into stuff. But like, I don't know, I'm endeared by those stories. I like those stories that like it shows that like anyone is capable of stuff. Even like people who are the dumbest of us still have redeeming qualities. You're not just a blank void of a person. You have stuff that you can contribute to things. Emily Mortimer is in this too, and she's delightful. I love her in this. To go back to like the weirdness of this movie, it is crazy violent. Like there are multiple murders that we see. And like, yeah, it's a car squished into a cube, but like they're living and breathing things. You just showed us a mutilated corpse. That's so crazy. Also, there are a ton of gunfights in this. Like they whip out machine guns and Gatling guns and all of this other stuff. Bullets just flying everywhere. How the is this movie rated G? Like, I feel like the ratings board was just like, oh, it's a Pixar film. Of course it's rated G. No, this is not a G film. It is without a doubt a PG film. But to end on some more positive stuff, I really just like the story. I think it was a good, fun, interesting story. It's not complicated or confusing. The logic of it tracks. It's just a spy thriller mystery film with some Formula One racing mixed in there too. Honestly, I enjoyed this film a lot. It's my favorite of the trilogy, and I would recommend it if you really like spy thriller films. It's not a G-rated film, so don't show this to like little kids. So yeah, no, I enjoyed it a good solid amount and I would recommend it. It's an interesting, fun spy thriller film with a good story, good messaging. It's strange, but it's no stranger than the first one in like the questions of this universe. It is very violent, so I wouldn't recommend it for small children. Don't listen to the G rating. It's not a G rating. As for adults, yeah, go for it. It's a fun little film. And lastly is Cars 3. This is a 2017 film, and the basic premise is it's a racing story. It's about legacy. It's about the world changing around you and like how do you adapt to the changing world. I will say it definitely looks really good. For sure, it's definitely the prettiest of the three. The story itself was fine. It didn't really connect to me. I really wasn't expecting this hardcore of a sports movie, so it wasn't exactly what I was in the mood for. Maybe on a different day I could have liked it and appreciated it more for what it is, but just on this day it just wasn't what I wanted. Especially too with just how much I enjoyed the second one and just like the cartoonishness of that one, this one being much more realistic. Like this is definitely the most realistic of the trilogy. It feels the least cartoony, which I get why they did that as like a course correction thing, but I think they went way too far with it. I do think the casting was a bit weird. Like no one was poorly cast. Like everyone did a good job, but it felt strange to me that like you get Paul Newman as this mentor figure for the first one. And now for the third one, we're looking at Paul Newman's mentor figure. So like you go from this incredibly legendary actor to just like a regular character actor. And like no shade at Chris Cooper. Like I do like him and stuff. He's a very fine actor, but like he is not on the same level as Paul Newman. There's not a lot of actors who are. So I think it would have made sense though to try to get another legendary actor, maybe not someone quite to his level. I mean, Robert Redford would have been perfect as the mentor figure, especially just as like a nice way to honor Paul Newman. Like I feel like that would have been right up his alley. And who knows, they could have potentially tried to get him and it didn't work out. I don't know, but it just feels like a strong missed opportunity. But I think the more strange casting is for Cruz, this personal trainer who, spoilers, is meant to be like the legacy of Lightning McQueen. And she's played by Cristela Alonso, who again, no shade to her. She does a great job in this role. But just looking at her IMDb, she's been on shows, she's had her own show, but she doesn't scream as anyone who's been wildly popular. And like, if she's meant to be this legacy character of like maybe she can carry on the trilogy, she doesn't seem like the actor that's going to be the new face of this franchise. She just kind of feels like a, sorry to say this, like a cheap actor to just fill this role for this one movie. Like oftentimes, especially with like Pixar films, they get just like the hot at the moment actor. So like a lot of like TV stars. As a good example, going back to Toy Story 1, you got Tim Allen as the second lead of the film because he was at the time a very popular small screen actor. His stand-up was doing phenomenal. His show was doing really, really good. So he was a great catch. So I would have expected something similar in this regards. Like in 2017, I don't know, like a Big Bang Theory actor. I don't really watch a lot of TV shows. I can't come up with a great one off the top of my head. Just getting a big TV star to fill this role would have had me believe that they wanted this trilogy to continue, to be a thing. But just getting like this, sorry to say this, a no-name actor to do this thing feels strange and weird and like they don't actually want this thing to continue on. So I don't know. I don't really know what to make of that. But ignoring that, going to what this movie is, what the story is, it's fine. It's all right. It makes more sense as a direct sequel to Cars 1 than Cars 2 does. That being said, it does feel still very different than that because Cars 1 is definitely cartoon-y and this one's definitely realistic. There is like the demo derby part, which is more cartoony, but all three of these films are such different beasts. There does not feel like a strong connective tissue between them whatsoever. So yeah, I liked it. It's fine. Would I recommend it? Sure, I guess. I don't know. It really wasn't for me. If you think it might be for you, go for it, but don't expect the world. It's okay. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up is Cars, sitting number 49 in the like section. And then after that is Cars 2, sitting number 37 in the quite like section. And then bringing up the rear is Cars 3, sitting number 50, again in the like section. Cars and Cars 3 I could kind of switch back and forth. They're kind of the same to me. And this is out of a total of 69 old movies so far this year.